What is going on, folks? Welcome back to another video on Electric Talks. I don't know why I always do that, but I don't know. I just do. Oh well. Anyways, folks, I haven't made a video on this channel in probably I'm so inconsistent, everybody, and I'm sorry. This video is basically going to be a life update. I'm going to show you guys what's been going on over the past few weeks because I've had a lot of things just happen in my life that have been really cool and also pretty unfortunate. And so I've filmed a lot of it, and you guys are also going to get a sneak peek into a video that I have coming out on my main channel that I just wrapped up with that I'm really excited about. And also something else that I'm really excited about. There's just a lot going on. But first, I wanted to make this video and, you know, the overarching theme is this is like my life update for you guys. And not every video on this channel is gonna be just straight up training and food, training and food, training and food, training and food. It's like, I feel like that's just getting into the whole like one-dimensional route, and I'm just not gonna do that. So if you guys are here specifically just to see me eat food and that's it, then this probably won't be the video for you. Just had to clear that up right there. But yeah, so if you guys follow me on Instagram, or if you guys watch my other channels, you'll know that I have been, I guess over the past few weeks, I was pretty much uprooted. Christy and I actually had to leave our apartment complex because somebody actually ran into the power generator outlet or whatever it is that has all of our power in it. And I don't even know what the whole technicality is, but yeah, that's what happened. And so we ended up actually going back to Idaho and staying there for an entire week. And so I had this whole plan with this channel that I was gonna make a video for all of you guys on, you know, what I do in circumstances like that, because I get a lot of questions and I get a lot of, I don't really want to say criticism, but I get a lot of opinions on my training and my fitness and my exercise levels and everything. And a lot of people are always wondering, like, do you ever take rest days? Do you ever not exercise for a day? And so when we had to leave for a week, I remember sitting in the hotel room the night before I left, and I was thinking to myself, you know, I'm going to leave for an entire week and I'm obviously not gonna bring my bike. And so this was like the first time that I was gonna be taking an entire week off of cycling for a long time, a few years really. And so, and I wanted to make like a specific video on like my approach to that. And that's what I'm gonna go into here in just a few seconds. And I even filmed a video in the hotel room, you know, the night before of just like, here's what I'm gonna do for you guys. I'm gonna show you guys how I approach, you know, the entire week. But it really just, I got midway through the week and it just kind of just felt normal to me. Like there's gonna be periods of time in my life where, you know, I'm not gonna be able to ride my bike 60 miles a day. I'm not gonna be able to, you know, go on large, long runs and do all these like crazy things, and that's completely fine. I've gotten to a point now in my life that, you know, I do the things that I do in my life because they bring me happiness, they bring me fulfillment, they bring me positive energy. I ended up getting midway through the week and being in Idaho, and I really didn't miss my bike that much. I didn't miss like, you know, I didn't sit there and like, you know, oh my gosh, I just want to go home so I can ride my bike. I want to go home so I can run. I want to go home so I can do all these normal things. It just didn't, it didn't really matter that much to me. I enjoyed the time away. Christy and I ate a lot of food. I don't really weigh myself very much anymore. It's not really because I have an issue with weighing myself. I just don't, I find that my body weight fluctuates so much that I don't really feel the need to do that. But I can tell, you know, when I do weigh when I do eat more calories than normal, I can tell when I've put on body fat or when I put on weight, and it's really not the end of the world to me. So when I was away for that week, I did a challenge in Idaho. A lot of people didn't really understand because I didn't like specifically clarify that the place that I was in was not actually my new house. I just kind of made a little funny joke at the end, like I woke up from a dream and people didn't understand it was a dream. It wasn't actually, yeah, that's a separate issue. But anyways, so when I was away in Idaho, I estimated I probably put on about 3 or 4 pounds just from the amount of food that I ate in Idaho. And it was fun, you know, I didn't really feel like I needed to, you know, do anything differently. And when I travel and when I go and do things like that, I'm gonna enjoy the time. I'm not gonna make, you know, I'm not going to, you know, just worry about every little thing, whether it's training, whether it's calories, whether it's food, whether it's any of that. And I you know, I get a lot of questions, like I said, from you guys about like how my life, you know, what my life looks like outside of these things. And so I really wish I would have filmed more B-roll, more footage from you guys. I mean, I still made an effort to get in a lot of vitamins and micronutrients when I was away. I still ate vegetables, you know, every day. I still, you know, took my supplements. I still did a lot of things. I mean, when I travel and I'm doing a food challenge, I mean, there's going to be a spike in weight, you know, obviously. And so that's kind of just like, I take on the mindset where I recognize that that's just going to happen, but I also know that when I get back home, I'm just gonna get right back on track. And that's exactly what I did. In fact, I came home and I haven't had a lot of periods of time like this. I haven't had a lot of like memories where this has happened, but like because I was weight training in Idaho, I actually deadlifted, and I realized that like through strength training and getting back home and with all the surplus of calories, I ended up just coming back home and hopping back on the bike, and it was just like I was fast. I was a rocket, and it felt really, really good. And in 9 times out of 10, the situations where if you guys are just kind of used to, you know, training and you have this huge influx of calories, you're going to feel a lot better after that happens. And so I know a lot of you struggle with, you know, pushing yourselves to eat more, and that's just really, you know, should give you guys just at least my perspective of what happens when you do give yourselves, you know, you gain a little bit of weight, whether it's muscle, whether it's fat, doesn't really matter. You will feel better in most cases, in a lot of cases. So that was cool. I actually ended up coming home and having a really good week. And I don't really get into a lot of specifics with training, with power numbers, with, you know, all of that on this channel, because I don't think there are going to be people on that are watching this video that will understand stuff like that, but I think the majority of you don't really understand what that all is about. So that is going to be something that I'm covering in my new podcast, which I'll talk more about at the very end of this video. So after the first week I got back, and then the second week, I actually committed to doing a century every weekend in November for my my friend's cycling group that he runs on Strava. So that's something that I've been doing. And I also got the running bug again, enunciator. And so I actually ended up, in one weekend, I did a 100-mile ride, and then the day after that, I did a 23-mile run, and then the day after that, I did a 27-mile run. So I did that Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and that was probably one of the craziest weekends in my like whole fitness, you know, life that I've ever done. And so that was just super cool to do. And like I post everything on my Instagram, guys. So if you don't follow me on Instagram, that's cool. But if you want to see more about like when this stuff actually happens, it's all linked down below in the description. And so I did all of that, and I remember just finishing that Sunday just going like, holy, like I can't believe I did all of that in a weekend, in back to back. And that Monday I took a nice little recovery ride, and my goal that Tuesday, this has been a video that I was planning on doing for a long time. I actually ended up riding my bicycle 200 miles in one day. And that is, you guys will see, that's the big video that's coming on my main channel in about a week. So you guys will see that in about a week. I'm actually not sure when this video will get posted, but yeah, I ended up riding my bicycle 200 miles in a week, or not a week, in a day. And there was a lot of emotions and a lot of feelings in me when I finished that ride. I won't spoil all the details for you guys, but it really just made me realize how much I really just genuinely love this. And it's not like I'm talking about the feelings of loving, the monotony of, running for hours on end, or the, monotony of, riding a bike for 10 hours or any of that. Like, there are definitely points during those times where like I'm enjoying the process for sure, but there are also points where I'm just like, oh my gosh, this is pretty intense. But I love the feeling of accomplishment, and I don't expect people to understand that. Like I was touching upon earlier, I get a lot of opinions about my choices that I make when it comes to my training and my the life that I've chosen to live. And it's, for me, I've always said that I feel so good, and I feel like I've always should have felt, if that makes any sense. Because the past few years of my life, I had this mentality of just feeling like I was never going to be happy, and I was never going to be fulfilled. And regardless of anybody's opinion or criticism or whatever it is, I genuinely just feel so good about my life right now, and I feel so motivated. And that's all that really matters to me, And so I could go on a huge tangent about that, and I will go on more tangents about that, because like I said earlier, I actually ended up starting a podcast with my good friend Harry, who's actually a sponsored triathlete from Australia. So I'm gonna include the link to that down below in the description. We decided to call it the Strength to Endure podcast, and I'm really excited to tell you guys more about this in a future video, because I feel like I've gone on a lot already about this. But yeah, so it's going to be on Apple, Spotify. You guys can download it. If I'm able to get this out, it'll probably be live by the time I finish this video or upload this video. So it'll be live. You guys can download it. It's not specifically for triathletes. A lot of the stuff we'll be talking about is going to be training, but we're also going to be talking about food stuff as well, nutrition, how we structure our lives, because Harry has he's an incredible athlete. Yeah, it's going to be great. And we both have backgrounds in mental health, so we'll be talking about a lot of mental health topics as well. And so I'm excited to bring that to you guys. I'm excited for you guys to listen to it. And it's not, it's definitely going to be something that I wanted to get back into the podcasting game for a while. So that's the big news, and I'm excited to show you guys that. So at the end of the day, I'm always going to have this channel. My goal with this channel is to visually show you guys the inside look into my life through a training perspective, through a nutrition perspective, through a general life perspective, and just to kind of give you guys insight as to how I live. And the podcast is going to be for the people that don't necessarily need the visual perspective and want more of, the listening perspective, the more in-depth stuff that I like to talk more about, that I can't necessarily just give to you guys in video format, because it would take hours, days, weeks, So we're going to talk a lot on that in that podcast, I should say. So regardless, folks, if you guys enjoyed this video, be sure to let me know down below, and also suggest to me what you guys want to see in future Electric Talks videos, and I'll be sure to bring it to you guys. Without further ado, I will see you guys in the next video.